So how's it going, everyone? We have one last person here today. Ty Hill could not make it, but we're going to try to hold down the fort without him. So if you are a Tyler Hill watcher, go subscribe to us instead, or in addition to, I should
Tyler
say. So
Tyler
that
Hill
way we
got
can all
knocked
be
out because
here.
the market took him out.
It's done.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, probably. I'm surprised any of us is here. Honestly, we have nothing else to do. We have to go back to work. So
Yeah. Back to work, back to business.
this is our visual resume, you know?
Yeah.
It's like okay, let's just say let's okay, I have a question for y'all. What if you weren't doing this? We'll just start off really light. If you weren't doing YouTube, let's say all the YouTube went away. What would you do instead? What would you do to make money?
Well, I'm an acrobat, so that's what I'd be doing.
You'd go back to it?
Yeah. I still love it. I still want to do stunts for movies, right? That's still something I'll do. It's just right now, it's just everything's so we got to be here, right? So when things calm down a bit, I definitely want to do like stunts again for films.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. That's way cooler than what I would do. I was a retail banker, so I go back to that. It's a really easy job with pretty good benefits. And then I also own a personal training business too, so I'd probably do that on the side.
Oh damn! You own a personal training business?
Yeah, my dad and I both do. We work at different high schools, and we like go and train their basketball teams or their football teams and stuff like that.
Wow.
But I haven't done it much at all since YouTube, just because like my fiance says I need a work-life balance, so I can't be like spending all my free time doing that and YouTube.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's so hard though, because you're like, all right, well, I can go and do something that I kind of like, but you know, for less money, or I can do YouTube and make some money at something that's
YouTube's fun though.
fun too.
And it stacks on top of itself too on YouTube. Like you do something today and it helps you a year from now.
Yeah, yeah.
And hopefully you're helping people too at the same time and just reaching more people. I can't talk to 10,000 people when I go train people. So
Yeah, exactly. No, it's great. No, I love it.
Yeah.
This is a new life for all of us, right? It's great.
yeah. What about you, Steven? What would you be doing?
I would flip houses again. I would just go hard back in the bat. But it's so much time, it's like it all really is like phone calls and being on the phone all day. And like that's just my least favorite thing in the whole wide world. Like I hate talking on the phone. I hate like having to hold people accountable for stuff. Like having had like like, no, you didn't do this timelines, and like it's just not it's not fun. I don't like doing that. And I hate phone calls. Honestly, like I'll let a deal go by before like someone has to get me on the phone. I was like, I don't give a shit. Like or I don't care. Oops, probably shouldn't cuss during this.
Yeah, thank you for getting us all demonetized.
Oh no, sorry, I forgot that we're just not on Zoom. Okay, all right. Well, let's get into some Bitcoin things.
People are going a bit crazy for Bitcoin. It's the first time I've seen the chat talking about Bitcoin. So yeah, things are not looking great as we speak. I mean, it's not the worst it's been in the last hour. We are going upwards in this hourly candle, but yeah, things aren't looking too hot right now. What are you guys' thoughts?
Manipulation. I just made a video on it, and we were kind of talking about this a minute before we started here, everyone. But there's that post a couple days ago that was saying basically, hey, the whales are going to try to create a panic in the market. There's going to be like these news articles that come out, and it's going to push the price down to 30,000. Then they're going to buy back in, and it was right. But of course, like no one's going to listen to anyone anonymous on some chat forum saying that Bitcoin's going to fall 30% in a few hours. But now everyone's watching it, and he just posted again saying that it's going to be pushed down to 25. So what do you think they're trying to do? They're trying to make everyone go sell their Bitcoin or short it, so that way they can go super long on it and push it back up through the roof after everyone's lost money, and then they just do the exact same thing that they did before, just manipulating you in a different way. At least that's my theory. A little bit out there, but
I feel exactly the same. Like, I don't know, guys. Let me know if you can hear me now. I know you couldn't hear me a second ago, but I feel the same. Like, the thing is, that first post, whether or not it was true, right? That's what got people invested in what he was going to say next. And now we are at the point of like this is peak fear, right? This is the most scared you could be. I'm scared. Everyone's scared, right? I'm a long-term bull and I'm still scared at this moment. So the fact that this same person is then posting again saying something along the lines of we're going to go to 25k is super scary. And what I think is because the initial reaction I had to it, right, was right, I'm going to sell like, you know, a portion of my Bitcoin right now. I'll just sell it at this level. I think it was 38 or something. I'll sell now. I'll put it into USDT and I'll buy it when it hits 25. And then I was like, wait, but hold on a second. If I'm thinking that, that means that, you know, and I'm like, I'm more bullish than, you know, let's say 50% of people who are like in Bitcoin, right? So it's like, if I'm already thinking that, then imagine how many people are actually going to do that. So like, yeah, peak manipulation. And if it is, perfect. What a perfect like slide in under the radar like that and trick people into selling. I mean, who knows, but I can't turn my volume up anymore. People can't hear me still.
Yeah, I'm getting people saying that there's an echo, but not coming from me, but I'm not sure that is exactly.
I'm gonna turn my volume down, and I had mine unlisted, so no one was watching mine. So so we're back on for sure. Well, that's fine. They just missed me talking. They just missed me cussing and everything. So I'm good. No bad monetization on my part. Sorry, y'all.
So wait, has China come out with more FUD again recently? I've been out for the last hour, so like I've just come back to seeing my portfolio in tatters again. So
yeah.
The last news I saw on that was that Hong Kong was kind of making it so basically like an accredited investor, right? You had to have $1 million, what's equivalent to USD, in order to kind of participate in this. But Hong Kong and mainland China have always had kind of like varying degrees of different autonomy, right? And different laws that govern their own region, since your people, Connor, actually had Hong Kong for quite some time. So then...
They're not my people. I'm Irish.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. Yeah, y'all didn't have anything.
Well, half Irish.
But now that that's happening, I mean, I just think my thing with the whole like China regulation and stuff like that, they're not really nothing is materially different, right, than it was like 2017 and 2019 when like those laws came out in the first time. And also like I think you see people doing it anyway, and I just even if there was, let's just look at crypto and Bitcoin as like a business, right? And let's just say they can't transact in one country. There's still the rest of the world that is able to transact in this way, you know. And I just don't think that's a big enough deal to sink the price like we've been seeing. It
doesn't make sense that it could, like, I find it surprising that it could do it again. But like, you know, it seems like the smallest thing is enough now, right, to like tip us over the edge. And it's like we were fighting that 42 level all day, right? We were like 39, 42 all day. And it was just a matter of time before something happened, right? We could have broken up, but we could have broken down. And like just the tipping point of enough people even talking about that post on 4chan and then this China fight, even though it's just tiny, right? You're like, how can they say the same thing again? And people are still worried again, right? So it's like just the smallest thing is hitting us over. That's because we're at peak fear right now, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I've seen this posted a lot across the internet too. Like, as more countries ban it, it kind of gives the use case for it, right? It's not controlled by the government. So the more people that ban it, the more people that will create it as a safe haven too. And then it will increase the value because people don't want to be controlled. So it kind of plays into it. But obviously, some people are selling or shorting or doing something, and they definitely have some money to push it from 42 down to 37. And it's in the whole market, it seems like, too. Everything fell 10% or so. And they're big spikes and big peaks. So it's just weird. I'm still getting echo, too.
Yeah.
I mean, darn.
Go on, Steven.
What do y'all think in terms of like? Did you say echo? It's good on my.
Yeah, I'm still good. I'll try to end this and then come back in. But you guys keep going. I'll just be right back in the Skype.
Yeah. like, what do you think about regulation in general? Do you think that we're gonna? I mean, Connor, I know you're in a different nation. Oh, there's two of me, different nation. But like, I'm thinking that they might be some sort of like regulation introduced here in the U.S., but I don't think it's going to go anywhere, right? Like, we have to go through so many different procedures and votes and everything else like that. Like, I just don't think we'll ever see it. I think it's too popular right now.
I think the government is going to continue to try and regulate it, and every time something new comes out, it will put the price down of whatever crypto is the top dog at the time. That will bring the rest of the market down at the time, and then, you know, because crypto it's here to stay, depending on whether or not Bitcoin is the number one or Ethereum's the number one or whatever it is. Bitcoin's going to be here to stay, right? So it's like, I just think of course government is going to try and regulate it, or try and do something, or like in China, making their own crypto. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think that's just something that's going to be continually happening, and something we just have to get used to.
Will you be buying China's crypto? Will you be buying the Chinese version of crypto when we get one?
I guess it depends on if it's just a stable coin, right? Because then, if it's not going to give me any gains, then no. I mean, I wish more than anything that I put more money into USDT when we were at our top, right? But you can't. It's so hard to time it. But like, yeah, as we spoke about, you know, before, I was going to buy somewhere here, and then we crashed, and you're like, you know, you're watching it, and you're like, oh no, my money's going down. But you got to stick to what you believed at the start, right? So it's just, I'm still there.
So let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about what kind of value. What are you seeing as like what's on sale right now that y'all are interested in, or buying, or have already bought? Saying like, that's assuming that anyone has any money left.
Yeah. Well, I did a trade on, what was it? Was it ADA? I think ADA. Yeah. So Cardano, I bought that on the dip and the flash crash, right? So yesterday or whenever it was, I can't even remember. I'm too emotional.
It seems like it's been a month, but it's literally been like 24 hours.
Yesterday. Yeah. So I was just like, do you know what? I just got to do this. So I bought it. Like, you know, I got to stick to what I say, what I believe in. Do you know what I mean? So I bought, like, I just have my coins in my portfolio. When these sort of things happen, I don't go out hunting for new coins that are down, right? I just stick with what I have, and then things that are down the most, I add to those. So I bought ADA. I added to ADA on the crash. I sold it last night, and then we crashed again a few hours ago. So I bought VeChain. But these are just to make the best of the bad situation, right? So I'll sell them at, like, you know, because VeChain went up 50% from the dip. So if we do like a 20% gain, I'll sell because it's just short-term trades, right?
So you're swing trading everything right now during this.
So I'm just adding. Like, it's my normal holds, right? They're my long-term holds. So I already believe in them. So I'll hold them if it goes down, right? But if it goes up, then I'll close the positions. I just want to gain some USDT, right? Because I just like never hold any stable coins, so I need to start doing that.
Sam, what's on sale for you?
I bought ADA. I thought I bought a good amount until I heard what Connor bought, and I was pretty proud of myself for how much I bought, because I was like, oh, I just bought a lot. Now I bought like 50% more or something. So I bought ADA, I bought Ethereum, I bought Bitcoin right before all the exchanges crashed. So I was pretty pumped because it was like right at the bottom. But yeah, I just bought those, mostly ADA, because it fell down, what, like 50% or something like that in a day, or less than a day.
Yeah.
And then I moved some money from Ethereum, like just 10% of my money from Ethereum over to Bitcoin, because I figured if we do go through a bear market, I'd rather hold a little bit more Bitcoin, I think, because I had more Ethereum because it had gone up so much than I had Bitcoin. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, my biggest buy was Bitcoin. I think it ended up doing like 14,000 in there in the last day or so. Because, nice. And then a little bit of ADA too, and a little bit of Ethereum, but mostly just Bitcoin. Because I mean, you're seeing such wild volatility in Bitcoin right now. I mean, it's acting like, you know, a smaller coin at least. And I was like, okay, like even if I just throw this in as almost like a store of value play, right? That's kind of like my hedge for everything else. What I did end up realizing is, like, I thought that like some of the altcoins and stuff that we cover were going to be some of the last to kind of come back. But they're actually some of the first over the last like 24 hours. Like they made up all their losses. They actually went to like, I mean, SafeMoon in general, like I think like went to 30% at one point. And
Yeah.
that makes sense because kind of the more I like looked at all the comments and everything, what people were doing, they're just like buying the dip, and buying the dip during altcoin or with these altcoins reflects more readily than like a larger coin would. So I recalculated my analysis, and now I think that anytime we go through something like this, the altcoins are going to come back faster and harder, if you will, than some of these bigger plays. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Go on, Sam. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I think as long as we're in the bull market and people are bullish on these things, then yeah, the altcoins will come back faster, come back harder because they're lower market caps, and it's easier to push Cardano up, I think, than Bitcoin, especially with like what Cardano and Ethereum have coming over the summer. I think there are just more catalysts for those that people are really excited about and actually want to buy heavily. So I would agree that those are going to recover faster. But if we go bear market too, like, and Cardano goes and pushes off some updates or something, then it could be really bad for those, as opposed to like Bitcoin, which will, you know, how much will Bitcoin fall comparatively? Probably not as much in my mind.
Yeah, I think I was saying this in my video that I made of Bitcoin and the crypto market today. I think what we're gonna see is, you know, we've got to regain this bull market by going up. It's not even a lot now. We just need to start holding a certain level to hold where we are. And then, like what I was saying was that I do think that everything will bounce, right? And then we'll have a test, and then that's where we will decide. And then like the alts will bounce quicker. Because they seem to always bounce quicker than Bitcoin back, right? Bitcoin is just being super slow, but it was the dominant one for a long time, right? So it's just time for the altcoins. And in 2017, exactly the same thing happened. We saw, like, if in the chance that this is the end of the bull market, right, we still saw Bitcoin hit its all-time high, and after that, it was like a 3-week period where all of the altcoins hit their all-time highs, right? So like, if we are in that scenario now, can't remember how many days, I don't know exactly how long it's been since Bitcoin hit its all-time high, but we are in an altcoin, or hopefully an alt season right now, if we are in the end of the bull market, right? Which I haven't decided where we are yet.
Yeah. It's hard with all the manipulation. It's hard to really know because Bitcoin ended up below that 200-day moving average, which is what everyone was, or so many people were looking at to determine whether we were going bear or bull. And then it closed up above, and then it's down below again. So just interesting to watch.
Yeah,
there's so much manipulation. It's so much easier than the stock market, and like that still happens in the stock market. It just happens to individual stocks, and people short them and get scared of them, and then they fall 80%, and then some analyst goes and ups expectations by like 300%, and then they go right back up. I held onto a stock that has like doubled in the last 2 weeks after going down 80%. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
sorry, we were about to run out of time there.
I was about to say, I was like, what just came across my board?
Yeah,
Something
I don't have
Zoom.
Zoom Prime or Zoom Prime, Zoom goals.
Some kind of hackers, some kind of scammers in here, messing with things. But no, I mean, I think it's an opportunity too. I love the whole. I just did a video too about just like when in doubt, zoom out. Just like an old, steady, true, philosophy in investing. And I kind of say this in my videos a lot. It's like I have a 30-year time horizon on everything. If it's not working out, I'm just going to wait a little longer, right? And like I'm lucky to be able to do that, but I try not to invest anything that I can't lose. And so if things are just going particularly bad one day, I just zoom out. I'm like, what's this going to look like in, a year, 5 years, 10 years? I was like, do I really think Bitcoin in 30 years from now is not going to be higher than it is today? Like, of course it's going to be higher. Like, that's in my non-financial advisor opinion. Yeah. Like, of course I think that.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison to what happened in 2017, like just holding was no matter how you played it, right? Like, I could have sold the top. I could have taken out my initial investment. I was 100%. This is the future, right? So, like, yeah, the time in between was horrible, but it came back, and even now, where we're sitting right now is twice almost the all-time high of 2017, right? So it's like, you're totally right. Zoom out and chill out, and then you're only panicking. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm slightly panicking, but nowhere near enough for me to panic sell when I see it crashing down, right? Because, you know, if you're panicking, you got too much money in the market, and or you aren't invested in things that you actually do believe in, right? You might convince yourself you're believed of them because the price is high. But like, when you see the price come down, what changes? Like, I genuinely believe that Bitcoin is digital gold, right? I think there's no reason why it can't have that share of the market. And like, so the price going down today is horrible. I hate to see the money going down, but it doesn't change how I feel about it, right?
Yeah. I think it's easier too when things fall down quick. Like, if someone falls down 30%, even if it's like a short report or if it's some manipulation, I feel a lot more comfortable buying the dip than if it just goes down consistently over like 3 weeks. Then I'm like, okay, why would I buy it? And that's the tough thing, right? Like, the other day, it was really easy, I think, for some people to buy the dip. Other people just don't want to have to deal with trying to catch the falling knife. And some people sold, right? But for me, I was pumped when I saw that. Like, I had to look at my phone a couple times to make sure ADA really was at $1.05. And I was like, just a question of how much do I put in, right? Because if it does fall to 50 cents, then I have to put in a lot more than $1. So then I kind of just did the quick math. But yeah, like, I think that's the tough part. And Connor, you lived through that with crypto, where it just fell and fell and fell, which would be a lot more debilitating.
Yeah.
My new goal is to not take money out ever based on price. I think, unless I guess if it like flew up dramatically, but I'm only going to take it out if I want to buy something specific with it, like real estate or something like that. I don't want to take it out just because I think, oh, Bitcoin's going to go down from 35 to 30 tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah, I think the thing is like, you don't, like, when we're talking here about not selling, don't get us wrong. Like, if you have a reason to sell that isn't panic, right? If you're still up loads, like if you got in if you got into Bitcoin in March and you bought it for 4K, right, 4.5K, and you're still up 10x today, and you're like, oh, do you know what? It's time for me to just book my profits because I'm too emotionally invested in this situation, right? That's still, in my opinion, fine. But that means you've chosen a reason to sell that isn't panic, right? You're not going, I'm going to lose everything and I'm going to sell. But if you're like, you know what, I'm just going to sit this one out, I still think that's fine, right? Because it's still good to take your profits, even if you are going down. I aim to sell on green days, right? And buy on red days. But, you know, you don't have to, like, just be convicted in what you're doing, right?
Do y'all have any stop losses on any of your holdings?
Nah.
No.
I mean, no. I have a few short-term plays, right? That were swing trades that have gone down since the top, right? So they're still there, but I haven't closed them yet because I'm just like, they're too small for me to, like, you know what I mean? They're too small of an amount. So I'm just like, if it gets, because I have sell orders for them, right, at 10% gain. So it's like, hopefully they'll just get back to there one day. If not, it's not a big enough loss for me to, you know, I got into them thinking I'll lose everything. It's all right.
Yeah.
I have, oh, sorry, Sam, go ahead. Yeah, I was anxious.
I was just going to say, I really even do that for the stock market because I can be around my phone more. I'd rather sell actively, like, even if it falls a little bit below, and I actually know the reasoning, as opposed to, like, I don't know, some short report comes out and sends it down like 50% overnight, and it's just BS from some unnamed team or something. Like, I would rather do it active than set up stop losses in my mind. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, the thing is, what we're seeing today is stop losses being raided, right? So on top of everything, people put in stop losses at psychological levels. So when you see on Twitter or whatever, every day for 2 days, it's been 2 days, but when you see it, you know, all day long, people are like, okay, Bitcoin is gonna hit, you know, 30k, or is gonna hit 32, or it is gonna hit 40, or whatever the number is, right? People see that and they're like, all right, cool, I'll put my stop loss at $500 less than that. And then, you know, when people are manipulating or things are happening, you want to push it just below these psychological levels because they get raided and then it goes back up again, right? That is an option as to what's happening right now.
Interesting. Interesting. I like that. I write down all my little stuff about like my stop losses and everything when I enter any position, right? Because I don't trust myself during the storm of whatever may come to make rational decisions, right? So I try to like write them all down before and stick to my guns to be like the ultimate rational person. And then of course I didn't listen to anything that I wrote down, and I like still holding on mine. It's gone through all my little stop losses that I had, and I was like, okay, I'll just hold on for dear life, because it's just too, exactly what Conor said. It's just like, it's too much of a, I just believe in it too much to have that stop loss in there. Maybe if I was, trading like a penny stock or something like that, I'd throw that stop loss in there, be a little less emotional about it. But maybe that's a weakness, that I am so invested in. I do believe in it so much, and I do believe that this is, it's almost like ARK Invest, right? Like all of Mama Kathy Wood's gains are been decimated recently, but she's like, what's going to happen to this? She's like, she's like, this is the future. Like, this is going to come back. Like, what do you think is going to happen here?
Totally.
And then she just sees bigger returns. Like, she was expect 20% returns over 5 years. Now that everything crashed, she's like, oh, now we'll see 30. We'll just have a better return now because everything crashed.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that's the thing.
The
right?
benefit of the dip.
Yeah, Bitcoin going down, as long as it does keep, everyone who believed in it before hasn't changed their idea. The fundamentals haven't changed. Right now, it just means that we have more upside from this point than we did when we were at 65K, So we have way more upside at this point, especially if you're buying the dip. So it's like, yeah.
The key is not putting more money that you can put in it. Because I've even fallen into like thinking, oh, like, why not just throw like an extra $5,000 or something and something? Even though I have like this stuff coming up, it will be up in a year or something like that. And I've stopped myself from doing it, but I thought, oh, that would be really easy money. And that's the key, I think, because so many people are invest and then they see it fall even 10%, even if it's just like normal fluctuations. They're like, oh crap, I actually need this money.
Yeah,
they don't sell it when it goes up 10%, but they sell it goes down 10%, and then you just get screwed out of easy money, or like you get screwed out of a tenth of your position.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most important thing, right? You only got to put money in this that you're cool with losing. But the thing is, I'll be honest, when it gets to like when you've done 10x, it's hard to lose money again, right? It's funny. It's a strange one, because that's exactly the philosophy and the mindset that I went into my buying of the dip during the bear market, right? I'm like, I'm only putting money into this that is it can go to nothing. I just believe that Bitcoin's going somewhere at some point, I wasn't reading the technicals or anything. It wasn't like I was like, oh, this is a perfect time for me to buy. It was just, I'm just going to put money in this over time and we'll just see what happens, right? And then we saw that massive dip in March and I bought more. And it's like, it's just now that is so significantly more money, it's almost the same, right? I feel the same as like I'm losing my money, right? Because it's like such a significant amount now from nothing. So it's never been money that I've made, right? Whether or not you can count like proper trades as making money, right? But it's never been money that I made. It's money that's accumulated, right? And now it's going down at such a substantial amount. I'm like, but then you got to stick to what you believe in.
Yeah, I think once it's life-changing money, I mean, like, I don't know if you've told people what your portfolio is, but it's not like Dogecoin Millionaire, right?
No,
it's not like, okay, you have $1.2 million or something in Dogecoin, there I could be like, I personally would still take that out like that.
If I made $1 million,
it's probably easier to say that because he's because he's built a brand around it. Now he'll probably get paid like what $500K a year or something for his channel now. So there's a point for him to even from just marketing purposes. But I think once it hits that level, even if you believe in it, it's like, okay, if I start getting $1 million from something, it doesn't matter whether I believe in it. I'll take some off the table because it changes everything. After you hit money, at least here in the Midwest, like $1 million would get you a far way, whether you can retire on that or just short of it. That's very different than like 30K, and then you still think that Bitcoin's going to just in my mind, like the numbers don't matter at a certain point. Just my thinking.
Yeah, no,
$1 million is a lot here.
I totally agree. And the thing is, it's like taking your money out at a certain point could stop you from getting to $1 million, right? That's like another act. Like, if that million is your goal, it's like taking it out too early could stop you from getting there, especially if the money has been basically created in, you know, how long have we been in this bull market? Like 6 months, right? So it's like, yeah, not quite life changing, not quite the reverse of life changing.
Yeah.
Well, there's like different investments. Like there's like try to make money and get rich investment, right? And then there's that like try to keep it investment, and those are totally different conversations. And the Dogecoin millionaire story is so interesting to me because I just want to like shake the guy. I want to literally like shake the guy. But I think Sam is right in that it's a brand now, right? And he's attached to it. He can get sponsorships. Like he can rock this story and make money off this story. But the fact that he is so invested and it could change his life, and he's not taking profits.
I mean,
like Conor
there was a
drives me crazy.
Right? There's a point where he could have taken $1 million out, and didn't he go up to like 2.5 million or 2.2 or something? So there was a point where he could have taken $1 million out, and still, you know, like, I just
he could have
Sam, I can't hear you.
He could have kept that title too if he had just cashed out his gains, or half of his gains. Still, like, you could do whatever you want with $1 million for a while. He could build up his YouTube channel with Dogecoin Millionaire and still like be the brand, and probably even successful long term. Because if Dogecoin goes down to a penny, he can still say, "Hey, I made $1 million in crypto, and this is how I did it," or something.
Yeah,
just kind of interesting.
Totally.
Why do you think he's not? I know y'all, and this is kind of a weird tangent, but like, why do you think he's not taking any profits? You think he just wants to kind of just be known as that guy, and or do you really think he believes in it?
I think he just believes in it. Yeah, I think he just believes that it's gonna make him 10 million. So like, why take it? Like, it's exactly the same thing, right? It's like I was saying. It's like, why take it out so soon when we take it out for $1 million, or you could have it 10 million, right? I think he just genuinely believes that. And who are we to knock that, right? It may very well get there. Right? Maybe it doesn't get there in this bull run, but like we said, like just holding from 2017 to now, you would be double. You'd have double your money at this point. So, and you didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to stress. You didn't have to do nothing. You just had to hold. So it's like, if he sees it the same way like I see Bitcoin, then I can understand where he's coming from, right? It's like, why would I sell it now? Doge is the coin of the future. No one cut that out and make it sound like I said that, because that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. Like, just the fact he write about it for so long, and everyone that he probably talks to, at least on YouTube and in real life and stuff, kind of probably give him praise now, like the Reddit community, how he's diamond-handed through all this and stuff, and he probably does believe in it too. If I was him, though, I would at least like diversify, like throw it in 5 other cryptocurrencies at least. Like, you can still believe in crypto in general then, and then you're not all in Doge. Like, what's the likelihood Doge goes up to $1 compared to Cardano goes up to like $5? Like, it's the same percent gain, but I would believe Cardano would hit $5 before Doge $1.
Yeah.
It's just that in my mind, but
it's that pure hype though, isn't it? Because it has driven it like absolutely insane amounts of percent on just pure hype. So it's, you know, I mean, the thing is, it could like probably Cardano, if everything goes well, the mainnet and everything, it will get to that level just in whatever amount of time, right, it takes. Whereas Doge could get there in, you know, next week. You know, if Elon Musk turns around now and goes, I was just joking, guys, I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin's my favorite, but also I love Doge. Go and buy Doge. It will go up, right? So it's like, it's just so ridiculous how much power he has over this market. Like, one guy who, like, you know, probably just gets drunk and has fights with Michael Saylor on Twitter has that amount of control over the market. It's wild.
Yeah.
He said he was diamond handsing it, right? And that kind of crazy. You saw a little bit of a correlation to you know, stopping the bleeding for a second, but it's continued to crawl back down.
Yeah, but that's like what we were saying, like Sam and I, like, it's just like it just like trying to think about what's happening objectively, it seems like textbook manipulation, right? That's what it seems like. It's just it's too much coming out all at the same time, all in this moment. Do you know what I mean? Everything's happening in the same moment, and it's just like, it's just too perfect. Like, you know, whales sell and then you find out, right? They don't FUD and then sell it, right? We wouldn't know if the price would just be like going down. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it all seems a bit too perfect.
I have some people asking, will you take people through the manipulation argument or story, or kind of broader thoughts on that?
Connor, do you want to do it?
No, you can go ahead. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah. So the argument is there are whales that have, whales as in people that hold a lot of crypto, or people that want to make money off of the retail trader. And some people might say, well, I only have $3,000 in Bitcoin or something, but you have 10,000 people like that sell off, and they can buy it at a lower price. They make a good amount of money. So they have large reach, they own or have influence on different news sources, the thinking is. So they either like force this into media, or they somehow like leak that there are issues in China, Hong Kong. They strike when there's already fear in the market, like Elon with the environmental concerns, with the price just falling over months and months and months. There's altcoin season, so why not hit Bitcoin, which will affect everything else? So they create all these different articles in the media. They recently had this anonymous person that posted exactly what was going to happen in the crypto market with Bitcoin. So they said that was going to fall down because whales are trying to make this coordinated attack on some billionaire and want to make him go bankrupt. So no one listens to it. It's an anonymous person on some like chat room website. And then it happens. So then everyone's posting about it, me included, a lot of other large crypto YouTubers included, saying, hey, it looks like this really was manipulation. So on the way down, all these stop losses get hit. So people that had Bitcoin at 35,000, they're going to sell it because they were up 50% still or something like that, or they lost a certain amount, or all the people that were trading on leverage, because a lot of people are trading on 100% leverage, 200. I think you can go up to like 20x leverage on certain platforms, or I think maybe 100x. I heard like 96 or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, so those all get liquidated. People literally lose millions. I heard of someone crying, talking to BitBoy Crypto because they lost 4.5 million in a few hours.
That was
then all this happened.
Yeah, I was just crying. I didn't have.
Yeah. So all this happens at the same time. It happens right at 9 o'clock Eastern time, so right before the market opens. So everyone's looking at their phones. Everyone's at work over here. Everyone's waking up on the West Coast around this time. So everyone sees it happening. All the platforms go down, right, because of the huge increase. Whales can still buy because they have backdoors and stuff like that, and they have the ability to buy. Coin market cap goes down because so many people are checking the prices on there because they can't find it anywhere else.
Yeah,
so no one can buy at that point. No one can buy. Then the whales buy, and then it gives validation to the one person that posted anonymously, so that way they can manipulate it. And like they're an insider, so are they just a super nice guy that's never gonna get like literally like murdered by these billionaires by leaking this and having everyone in the media talk about it? No, they're just manipulating you, thinking that they're the good guy that's on the inside trying to help the normal person. So then today they post that it's going to go down to 25,000. So you should either short or sell. And what are they going to probably do? In my mind, they're going to wait until it goes down to, even just under 30 or, 27. They're going to push down the price. Other people are going to sell. Like right now, we saw after that posted, like it fell $3,000 per Bitcoin. And then they're going to go ultra long on it right when it crashed. And they probably won't wait for 25 because then everyone will wait for 25 and then buy back in at 25. Or they'll think they're smart and try to buy in at 26. So even they push it down 10, 20%, and then they go ultra long and push it right back up, and then everyone FOMOs back in. Like we saw over the last couple of days, like Bitcoin went up 30, 40% in a few days, and people definitely lost money because they sold and then bought back in later.
Oh, totally. And then now it's down again, and it's just rinse and repeat, right?
Behind it. What was that?
Like now, like the people that sold on the way down, they bought when they thought it was recovered, like today when it was like hovering around the 40, and then it's just rinse and repeat. And the amount, like the thing is, I don't think people understand the amount of money that can be made. And crypto isn't regulated, so it's like it doesn't matter if they're doing it right now anyway. It doesn't make any difference. So the amount of money that can be made by just convincing people to sell and then buy and then, or sell and then buy and then sell and then buy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's so much money. And like you said, like if 1,000 or 100,000 people or however many number is doing it all at the same time, all just continually, and especially like, I'm sure, I don't know the exact figures, but a lot of the money that's in the market now is new, right? They've been buying since about 50. That's like a lot of the new money. And like, so it's just rinse and repeat of what is always happening, unless it's not, and it's the end. Like, who knows?
And the market cap is going up and down by hundreds of billions of dollars, like almost daily right now. Like, what? It's at a 700 billion right now. So let's say they can just get part of that, like $3 billion for a day's worth of work, and they have nothing but time and resources. They can have hundreds of people working on this. Sending bots to different chat rooms to sell and stuff. Like they have so much power, and they have nothing but time to think about it. Like most people are at their jobs and they're like, oh shit, oh crap, Bitcoin's fallen down 20%. I better sell. I have no idea what's happening. And then like they've been planning this for, they could have been planning this for 6 months and then just been waiting for like Elon to do something stupid. Who knows?
I think like saying that, the fact that like people are on their phone or at work and just checking is like, I think that's like a very important thing that people, and like myself as well, like people need to understand that like you can sell your entire portfolio just by picking up your phone while you go to the toilet or on a smoke break or something, right? You can sell your entire portfolio. Like that wasn't, you know, like that wasn't a thing a few years ago. Like obviously we could have done it on Binance in 2017, but like as a whole thing in all markets, right? Not obviously not property or anything, but like these sort of markets, the panic is so much more intensified because of how quickly you can execute a decision, right? And it's like, you know, if you're watching the chart, like, you know, I was waiting when I was out now, I was waiting for something. So I was just watching it go from 41 or so. And it was just, you know, my portfolio is going down, 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 down. And I'm like, all right, maybe, but like, and I'm convinced by this anonymous poster, right? I'm like, oh, maybe he's right. Like it still could be, but at this point, I don't think it is. But I'm like, oh, maybe this is the time that I sell it, right? So it's like, yeah. It's a tough one. So
then, like, are they playing reverse psychology? Are they playing reverse psychology? And like, this is so much easier than stocks. Like, what's a market cap like this in stocks? Facebook. Like, is everyone stop believing that Facebook is a good investment if it falls down 30%? No, they're going to be buying that. Everyone's going to love that, compared to something that has less use case and doesn't have earnings, or maybe not less use case, but doesn't have earnings. It's way easier to manipulate. There's nothing to chew on, really. It's so much easier. And every news source will pick up Bitcoin falling. All the people that hate crypto because they make money on it or because it takes money away from their investments, they would love to publish about it and talk about how crazy it is that people bought Bitcoin at 55,000. And it's so much easier to spark that than like, oh, Facebook had a sell-off of 20% today. Like, that might hit the news lines, but it's harder.
Totally.
I don't know.
We touched on it already in the same realm, but someone asked in my chat, I can't find it right now, but Jam. If you got into Bitcoin at 32 and it went to 28, would you sell it? I mean, the thing is like, what are you getting into it for? Are you buying it because you thought you were going to make quick money? You don't believe in it? Either way, if you were doing it for that, you should have had a stop loss, right? So you should be doing your risk management if it's just a YOLO play. But if you're buying Bitcoin because you got in it super cheap and like you believe it's going to go somewhere, then nah, I don't think you should be selling it. But what do you guys think?
I think that's great advice. Yeah. If you're passionate about something, that's a whole different, then a whole different set of rules apply. But if it's like a swing trade where you are just YOLOing into something to make some quick money or whatever, have those parameters set up before you even like enter into that quote unquote investment or into that speculative play. I love having like all the parameters set up. If this happens, I'll do this. If this happens, I'll do this. And then just execute, right? Just be like a little cold, rational robot and just execute just as is. But if you believe in it, if you believe in its growth, if you feel like there's know where else it can go, and like you like the whole mission or whatever it is you're talking about, then yeah, I'm right there with you. Then just zoom out and just say, you know, where do I think this is going to be in 5 years or 10 years or whatever your time horizon is.
Yeah. I think I just think it's so important to decide what the investment is when you're getting all the you know, if it's an investment or is it a trade, right? So like, it doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin or if it's Cardano or if it's Tesla or Facebook or whatever it is, or it's Forex, you know what I mean? Like, if you're getting into it, like, decide at the entry why you're getting into it, right? So today I bought VeChain because it dipped, like, I think I bought it at 22% on the day dip, right? I don't know if it's got better yet, I haven't checked, but I bought that with the ambition to sell it, right? I'm gonna, like, that I just topped up on a coin that I believe in, so if it goes down, I'll hold it, but if it goes up like 20%, like, quickly, I'll sell it. And that was my plan when I got into the trade. That was already my decision. So I think that's what you have to have, right? You have to have a decision as you're going into the trade.
Yeah. I just try to focus on building up my cryptos over time. Like, you can look at balance, but I'd rather be like, okay, now I have 0.42 Bitcoin instead of 0.41 or something, especially if I actually believe in them. Like, I can't control the price. So if price goes down, I'll just buy more. If it goes up, great. Sometimes I try to step away from my phone because I'm like, okay, if it falls more by the time I pick it up, that's great. If it goes back up, that's great too. Because I can buy it again. I play that when I want to buy, and I'm like, maybe I should just stop because I bought too much recently. Either way, you win.
I mean, yeah, it's really hard to, the thing is, where we are right now, it's super hard to, like, you know, are we making the right decision buying this dip? Should we wait for more dips? It's like, you know, there's just no, at this point, there's just no way of knowing what was the right thing to do, right?
Yeah, it's tough to, you feel like an idiot if it goes down, because then all the people will come out the woodwork saying, I sold, or you should have sold a long time ago, or all this stuff. There's just, everyone that was right will say that. But then if Bitcoin goes to 100,000 in 5 years, right? That's still a much better return than the indexes will make, probably. Even if it did that over 10 years, that's like a 2.5x, which is
totally
significantly better than the indexes still. So who cares if you believe in it and actually think it's go up in a year or two? Yeah, it's hard not to be like, okay, let's try to time it out. But that's something that people constantly say in the stock market. Don't try to time the market. But because there are some patterns that have emerged the last couple of times in crypto, I don't think people really talk about not trying to time the market as much. Yeah. At least my opinion.
So I've only got a few minutes left. I just saw another question that I think is quite good. What do you guys think about the hype coin, the hype meme coin space at the moment? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I think we're in for a wild ride. I think that once everything kind of levels out again, we're going to see. Once again, I know it's a little bit of a fallacy to try to look at what happened 2 weeks ago and apply that to the future. But I do think that's what's going to happen, right? I think that once we're kind of back to normal and everything, we're going to start to see people looking for that next quick buck and that quick run up, that potential to make a ton of money. And I think that I think any kind of volatility we see in the bigger coins, we're just going to see like 3x in the altcoin market. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think everyone's going to want the next big thing. I think we're going to see a lot more come into the space, and I think it's going to be an even continually bloody battle in the altcoin space. Yeah, what do y'all think?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think it really depends on whether we go bull or bear, because if we go bull, there's still so much money sloshing around. Like, I think I might have said this recently, at least in one of my videos, like, no one that I know is going through a rough time right now financially. Like, maybe individually, like someone here and there, but like, this is a very good economy right now that we have. And if you look at it compared to like 2008, where people are literally losing their houses and their jobs, like, businesses are having a hard time because they can't hire people because they're making too much from unemployment right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, there's so much funny money out there that, like, there's a lot of money that people have to throw at different things. So it's just going to depend on whether there's a bull market, in my mind, and people stay in crypto, or if they go back to penny stocks, or if wherever things are going well, they'll throw money in and it will just accentuate what happens. if we go bear, then it's going to be difficult, I think, because people will look somewhere else. If ADA goes down to $1 and stays there for a year, people won't be excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will go lower than that if we don't continue, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot.
I guess that's probably a bad example because that's like one of the biggest coins out there. But like, but if you look at anything else, I think they'll do the same thing. Like all the meme coins, those will be hit hard.
Oh,
but those are also
VeChain's coming up.
Some live priced action here.
Or maybe it's just because it's gone further in the day, so it thinks that it's up. I think that's actually the case. It's not gone up. It's not gone up. I got excited.
Yeah, you're in the future. Tell us how the future is looking, Connor. Right? So
it's hot. It's uncomfortable. I just want the market to go up again.
So if you guys had to pick one crypto right now to put, let's say 2% of your portfolio in, so you're not like taking a huge risk, but it's also like if it goes up 2x or something, you're going to be pretty happy by the end of the day or next week or something. What would you put it in?
If for me, it would have to be Solana because I just bought Solana. Right? It's like it's an altcoin. It's not a hype coin. But yeah, I think that's what I would put it in. Now, I guess it depends on. I guess
right
if it's
now,
only 2%.
Watching? Are you?
Huh?
Is that you pumping it right now because everyone's watching?
Yeah. Go buy it. No, don't buy it.
Then Connor leaves the chat, never comes back again. He's rich.
Yeah.
Can you explain Solana a little bit?
I mean,
I've heard people talking about it, but
it's like an ecosystem, right? There's so much to it, but it's the founder doesn't want it to be described as an Ethereum killer, but it's in the same sort of space. It can coexist, and also it has like super fast transaction speeds, and it's super cheap, right? So that's basically what it's got on it. It's just, from what I can see, and it's already there, right? It's further along in its ecosystem than Cardano is. So it's like it's a but it has gone up a lot at the moment. So I just see there to be like, you know, maybe 2 or 3x from where we are right now, as long as we get back into the good old days of 3 days ago, of 3 days past.
Yeah. What's the market cap on it, give or take?
I think
I'm
11
just trying
billion.
to find it here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 billion now.
Okay. It's not on Voyager. Man. I have to look for it.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. I think I would do right now. See, it changes, right? Like if it was yesterday, I would have a different answer for this. If I had to throw 2% into something, I like Connor's saying, I like an altcoin idea, just like, especially if they're down right now, I would just grab in on that and just wait for it to pop again inevitably. But an altcoin that has a little bit more, like a bigger altcoin, right? Like something that's, in the top 30 or something like that.
Cardano.
I bought some.
Or ADA. Yeah.
I think if it was just a YOLO play, what I would do if I just had this money, right, is just go into like, some chat. I've got my Discord with the chat. I'm not plugging that, but like any place that has like lots of things going on with hype coins, right? And just find what everyone's talking about and then just chuck it in that and then take it out the second you see profit. And it's like you can make like if you're willing, like right now in this moment, if you're willing to like spend the time to like look into these things and you're also willing for the absolute peak of risk, you can make a lot of money really quickly. So like if you're looking for that sort of thing, the hype coins are great right now still, because there was one today, I can't remember the name, but it's up like 10x overnight during all of this, right? So it's like there's still very much money to be made in that space.
Yeah. Being one of the manipulators.
yeah.
Don't be manipulated, be a manipulator. I think that's be on a t-shirt somewhere.
Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta jump off.
So we've sworn today. We've said to go buy risky stuff, and we said to go manipulate.
Don't buy.
This is what happens when Tyler's not around.
Don't listen.
And
to
we
us.
cuss too. So we're just terrible. We're terrible people.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't mind, since we did all this stuff that we shouldn't have done, just hitting the like button so we know you guys actually like these videos. That'd be awesome. Check out the links down below to the Patreon in case you want access to us more regularly and seeing what we're buying and selling. And there are probably links down there to have multiple exchanges because everyone knows that any exchange can go down at any time. And you could have multiple exchanges out there, including Webull, because they were still working, and you could buy Bitcoin on their platform if you want that. Of course, there are risks to not actually owning it on the exchange owns it and all that stuff, but you should have a way to buy it. Anything else you guys want to say? Try
I'm good.
give all those plugs.
I think that sounds great.
I appreciate the plug.
All right.
Respect. The
Yeah.
plug.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna maybe.
I'll see you guys later. What is up, guys? It's just us. Just us over here. Is it working? I think so. I think we're doing all right. How's everyone doing? I got a few minutes left. Answering questions. Hopefully not. I don't know. It's Friday night. Friday night for me anyway. I don't know where you guys are, but time for a bit of a chill. If you got questions that aren't crypto related, I'm happy to answer some crypto questions, but let's have a bit of fun. How's everyone doing? If you can still hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. Everyone's been saying my mic's super low, but... Alone with Connor in his room. Oh, my light turned off. Did that happen halfway through the thing? If you guys are new to the stream or my channel, this is what I use. I just put it in here and make it pretend like I have a bulb, because I don't have a bulb. I'm just dressed as a lime fruit for fun, you know? It's green. I wanted a green day, so I thought I would put a green top on, and then it would give us a green day, but it didn't work. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have worn a red top. It would have gone red. How are we doing on the Bitcoin chart? 37,000! 37,000! Come on! It's just terrible. Not looking good. What's everyone doing? Ricky T debating on selling and buying the dip. So am I. So am I. But the thing is, we just don't know if the dip's coming, if that dip's real. But it could. We could potentially go down to 25k like everyone's saying we are. Who knows where the floor is, you know? But I'm holding on for now. If you want to know up to date when I'm doing my trades, you can come and join the Patreon. No reason. Don't have to do that, just if you fancy it. But yeah, I mean... We're teetering on 37. We were fighting 42 for a long time. Today I was watching the charts and we didn't break through it. Sadly, we're back down again. It does seem like manipulation to me, but we really don't know what's happening. You can't, you know, there's no way of knowing. There's no way of knowing. Anyone who says they know exactly what's happening either are the manipulators or they don't know actually what they're talking about. So... Good plan, Ryan. Well done. I think that was a good shout. What's my outlook on Elongate? I'm still bullish on Elongate. I still have my coins. I know it's been down a lot. I still like what they're doing. But if you've watched my channel before, I sell when the price goes up. So I sold, I think, 70, maybe 60 or 70% of my Elongate holdings. And now I'm just holding it. If we pump again, I'll continue to sell a bit and I'll continue to hold a bit. That's the plan anyway, unless I feel like I want that money to go somewhere else, right? Unless I find something that I really want to invest in where I need the money, then yeah, I'll sell. Because like I said, when you're selling, you just need a reason to sell, right? That isn't panic. Well, for me anyway, I don't want to panic sell. Do I have a day job? No, I quit my job a year and a half ago, just before the old Rona hit. And yeah, I've just been floating around ever since. What's my favorite drink? Probably... it's got to be IPA. It's definitely got to be an IPA. But I'm not like a big... I do drink, but I'm not a big drinker, so anything IPA is good for me. I don't see 25k being hit, but hey, it might. Has the winter started? We don't know. We don't know yet. Really, this is a hard time. I put my buy order in at 30. Hopefully it works. Yeah, Reedy, I also think it will probably go down a little bit more than where we are now. Mark, I'm enjoying Friday, thank you. Hope you are too. Yazid, yeah, it's super hard to know exactly, like, the thing is no, like, honestly, nobody knows what's going to happen, right? You can do TA, you can do your technical analysis, you can look at the charts all day, but at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen next. 50% of people were saying we're going to go down, 50% of people saying we're going to go up. There's just no way of knowing. You can go by what people are thinking. You know, right now, I would say we probably have a little bit more downside from where we are now, but there's no way of knowing. Just, you know, in the next hour, we could completely wick upwards. Just, it's very hard to tell. Curly Bap, I've been here for 5 years. I left when I quit my job. I came back because the world wasn't so great. So it's pretty cool here. Any other meme coins that aren't being affected? I would assume that every coin in the market is being affected because people are panicking. This is panic. You know, people see Bitcoin's price go down. Even if they're not holding Bitcoin, they go into their portfolios and they sell things because they expect it to go down. Dave Thomas, have you sold your BNB? I did sell most of it into Bitcoin when Bitcoin was 46 or so, which I thought at the time was a great idea, but it wasn't a good idea. So, hey, who knows? The big guys are shorting the market right now. Yes, they potentially are shorting the market right now, or they're trying to push the market down so they can make large buys. That's another thing. And then on the way up, they'll liquidate people who are shorting the market on the way up, the retail traders. Loris Van Dam, thank you very much. I appreciate the comment on a Friday night. It's exactly what I want to hear. Thank you. Is Save Planet Earth? Because yes, I do know about them and I do like them. Do you not believe in Dodge? There's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing to believe in. It's hype, right? So if you believe that it's going to be the meme currency of the entire planet, then sure, that's something you can believe in. But for me, it's like, it's just hype, right? It's based around hype. It goes up with the market, it goes down with the market. That's my opinion on Doge. I was wing. I was an acrobat and a stuntman. I still am a stuntman, but this is what I spend my time doing at the moment because the world isn't, you know, back to normal yet. What's the lowest you think ADA could realistically drop? I don't know. We saw a drop underneath $1 yesterday or the day before, so we could get back to those numbers. In a bear market, it could go even lower. If we were in the market for a few years, like a downturning market for a few years, then we could see it get even worse. So, brew by numbers. I'll check them out. I do love IPA. It's one of my favorites. Probably, yeah, it's my favorite beer. The scripture of nothing, no thing. I worked here on a show. My family are in Spain and England. So, yeah, no family here. Yellow Almighty. Couldn't agree with you more. It's wild. Every day is a new thing. It's just so difficult, right? Ryan Perry, totally agree. Totally agree with that. People need to stop panicking, right? If you're in Bitcoin or you're in this, like I've said before, when you get into the trade, decide whether or not it's a long-term thing or it's a short-term thing. If it's a short-term thing, put a stop loss in, get out the market until it cools off. If it's a long-term thing, you can just hold it. That's what you got to decide. Connor's going to make an action movie about crypto. That'd be awesome. Yeah, Ryan, I couldn't agree more. I can't imagine seeing Elon Musk tweet and selling because of that. Like, again, if you're a short-term trader, right, and you saw the tweet, maybe a good idea would be to short the market for a short amount of time while that tweet comes out or when it just came out, right? But yeah, I wouldn't sell a long-term position of something that I believed in because Elon decides that he's not going to accept it for now, and he didn't even sell it himself. Jamal, I'm not making my own crypto because I don't want to really get involved in that right now. It's not something that I want to really do at the moment. I think that if I was to make my own crypto, it would be something with real utility, right? And I don't have time for that. But it'd be awesome. Chris Brantley. Yeah, well, you know, I guess you got to come up with your own sort of method, right? But the way I see it, if you're selling when people are greedy, then that's the right time, right? And you're buying when people are scared. My method is I invest. Basically, how I do crypto is I invest into companies that I believe in for the long term. But when we have big dips, I buy. When we have big nice candles after that, I'll then sell it, and I'll just rinse and repeat that method, right? So I hold my original bag and then I add to that bag until I make profit, and then I sell it, and then when we have a dip, it doesn't matter if it's a higher dip, right? But then I'll just buy it at that dip and then I'll sell it when we go up. Like today I bought VeChain and I plan to sell that at about 20%. Hopefully it goes up. It might take a few days, might take a few weeks, might never happen, but I believe in VeChain as a project itself, so I think it will go up eventually, right? So I'm okay to hold it on the downside and then I'll sell it for that swing trade. And then one thing I would say is try and trade now into, you know, I was trading only with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin pairs, but I would trade also with USDT or stable coin pairs. And then that way you have money on the sidelines to buy. And you can also remove that money from the market when you want, and you won't be losing, you know, because I sold my BNB from the hype. So I made good profit in the hype coins. I moved that over to my main portfolio in BNB. And then from there, I put that into Bitcoin, right? When I thought Bitcoin was on a nice dip. And then now, you know, we've lost another 25% from there or so. So it's like, you know, it's really hard. So I would say keep some of your money in stable coins at this point. There's no way of knowing where the Bitcoin price will go, right? So what did we go? We went from 19K in 2017. We went from 19K down to, I think, a low of around 4,000, maybe even 3.5. So we could see a similar downturn, right? So what's that? I'm too tired to think of percentages, but that similar down is what we could potentially see again in this year if we are entering this bear market. But I also think if we are entering a bear market now, we will see some sort of bounce before we enter fully, because that's exactly what happened before. People get excited, people want to make money, and it bounces and then it continues downwards. So maybe we already saw that with today's bounce to 42. I'm hoping not, but we'll have to just see what happens. Alright guys, I'm going to have to head off now because it's getting late here. It is 20 to 10. So I'm going to have to go. All the misses are going to get mad. So it's been real. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping by. And I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream or whatever it might be. Bye.